Former Vice President Joe Biden spent Thursday campaigning across South Carolina for a second day this week, but he's facing new questions about a story he referenced on the trail about awarding a Silver Star to a Navy captain in Afghanistan. The Washington Post reports Biden's telling of that story is incorrect and that the former vice president has, quote, jumbled elements of at least 3 actual events into one story of bravery, compassion, and regret that never happened. In an interview with the Post and Courier Thursday, Biden responded, saying he did not think he mixed up the details of different incidents, adding, quote, I don't understand what they're talking about, but the central point is that it was absolutely accurate what I said. Let's bring in CBS News 2020 campaign reporter LaCrai Mitchell. She covers South Carolina for us. LaCrai, great to see you as always. The Post reporting about Biden's telling of that so-called war story could become the latest in a string of gaffes his campaign has had to address. But what are you actually hearing from voters about some of these slip-ups the former VP has made?
Well, Elaine, it's interesting because we've talked to, a bunch of voters over the past couple of days, and the resounding theme is that they don't care about these gaffes. As a matter of fact, I had a voter explain to me that these gaffes, they make him seem human. They make him more relatable. And so when the voter described when the media takes the time to really harp on these gaffes, that sort of thing is going straight over the head over some of these voters because they don't really care so much about the gaffes. They care about the realness of a candidate. And the voters that we've been talking to at these events over the past couple of days, they feel like Joe Biden is a real candidate. That's what they're looking for.
So tell us what kind of events Joe Biden has been holding there in the state this week.
So over the past couple of days, you've had him have a couple of town halls. Yesterday, he did a local stop at a Krispy Kreme with South Carolina State Senator Glenn Reese, which political leaders in the upstate say that was an important visit because Senator Reese can be one of those endorsements that really plays a lot in the upstate. So he had a visit there. He had a closed press meeting with some African-American leaders in the upstate. And one of those attendees told me that in that meeting, the former vice president was really making his case for why he should be the candidate. And he said, the attendee told me that some of the members at that meeting, they were not decided yet, and they didn't necessarily leave feeling more enthused for him, but they were happy to hear what he had to say about education, health care. And tonight, right now, you see me at another town hall. This is going to be his last event on this upstate swing this week. And so we're expecting, or the campaign is expecting, numbers in the hundreds, and that's what it's been for the past couple of days as well.
More broadly, how have voters overall been responding in general to Joe Biden's events, and what are they saying specifically about him?
Well, it matches up with what we're seeing in a lot of these polls, especially the polls that have been done here in the state. He is the candidate that consistently, whenever I ask voters, who are your top 3, his name is coming up. If not number 1, definitely in the top 2. And that's been consistent. And what they're saying is that they feel like they know Joe, They feel like he's made visits to South Carolina even before he was a candidate in this race. And they feel like they know him because of the work that he's done with President Obama. Whenever I go to ask, why is he your guy? Experience comes up, and right after experience, they say he's got to know what he's doing because he's done this with President Obama for 8 years. So that's definitely something that's been playing in his favor. And then also, like I said, the fact that he has been making visits to the state, and so he's not new to this state, and I think it's evident sometimes in even the way he comes off at some of these events here. I've noted that he seems lighter here. At an event earlier today, a town hall at Clinton College, which is an HBCU in Rock Hill, he made jokes. He stopped in between the town hall when he was answering questions to give people hugs and to high-five kids and take selfies. So he's notably comfortable here. And I think that comes off to the voters, too, or at least that's what they're telling me on the ground.
Interesting. Well, how do Joe Biden's events compare to other ones that candidates have been holding there in South Carolina recently?
Well, I tell you, I've been to my fair share of town halls at this point.
Yeah.
And yes, there are some things that are paralleled. You have the music and you have all the people and the excitement and the energy. But there's something about when I talk to the voters here, it's not a matter of them trying to get to know the candidate like some of the candidates that aren't front runners here, or it's not a matter of trying to hear what he has to say. They're here for him. They're here for him, the candidate. They feel like they know who he is, and they're here to show him their support. He often gets amens and yeses, whether he's at church or at rallies, because these voters who are here to support him, they feel like he's their guy and they know him. And that's what I think would be the differing thing. In other events, you know, voters tell me they're here to hear what this person has to say, or they want to learn more about a certain policy that they have. But that's not the case with Cho.
So, LaCrai, are any...
They would say Cho.
are any other candidates planning to make stops in the Palmetto State over the holiday weekend?
Yes. So tomorrow you have former HUD Secretary Julian Castro will be in Charleston doing a town hall with a state senator there who has been doing frequent town halls with candidates. You have Senator Bernie Sanders that's here tomorrow, and he was here today as well. He's doing a breakfast tomorrow morning in Georgetown. And then at the beginning of next week, you have Senator Elizabeth Warren, who's doing a town hall with Whip Jim Clyburn, who's this big name here in South Carolina. He's their guy. They're a big Democrat. And so they're doing a town hall at South Carolina State early next week as well. So the candidates are making their rounds through here, and we're going to try to be there to hear what voters have to say about all of them.
All right, LaCrai Mitchell with a view from South Carolina for us. LaCrai, thank you very much.